called out on social media for allegedly being involved in a 4.7 million naira. Actor Saidi Balogun was choosing to speak up and clear the air. Because that he was called out by actress Tayo Shobola, better known as Shotayo Gaga, for introducing her to the alleged scammer. Also confirming the account, actor Mustafa Shalagbade disclosed that Tayo was dupe of over 4.3 million naira, while he was dupe of about 500,000 naira. Reacting moments ago in a detailed press statement, actor Saidi Balogun had this to say: "I want to address the issue attempting to drag my name in the mud on social media. I would have ignored the matter, but I realized that keeping quiet would further fuel the misconceptions and put me in a bad light. Firstly, I wasn't involved in any scam, rather I'm equally a victim. This is not a decision to hate or indict anyone, but to clear things up. A man named Idris Bello came to me a few weeks ago and introduced a hatchery package. I wasn't interested initially until he showed me a copy of my colleague Ibrahim Chatta's advert, which he has been doing for his company. I was convinced, knowing how well Chatta is very vast on religion and Islamic matters. So I decided to give it a shot, but I didn't record any visual and radio jingle for him, except my picture that he used on his flyers. A few days later, he pleaded with tears in his eyes that I should get some of my junior colleagues in the industry to buy into the traveling packages. He further explained that he had invested 20 million naira already on the project and he was running into a huge loss. The story seemed convincing, so I decided to encourage him by introducing Mustafa Shalagbade, also versed in Islam, and Shotayo Shobola to his package. During his birthday at Oriental Hotels, VI, I proposed to his fiancée in the presence of myself, Latif Adedimeji, Ibrahim Chatta, Shotayo, Mustafa. The gathering gave me a total conviction that the man is up to the task. I felt that if he could bring us all under one roof in one day, he might be able to pull bigger jobs. I guess I was wrong. I tried to run an advert for his package, which he paid like 0.5% of the deal we earlier agreed on, and complained that there was little or no turnout. I believed him and took further steps. Before I knew it, he had collected money from these people. He equally collected 200,000 naira from me when he claimed he had problem aside 2 other people which he promised to give free trip from Ibadan. Approximately, he took over 400,000 naira even after he had promised them a free trip. The 2 people came to me that they had no money for international passports, which I funded them from my pocket to do the international passports aside that. I also bear the cost of their trip from Ibadan to Lagos and the hotels and feeding on account of my goodwill. After I had done all those expenses, Idris ran to me again that he had issues he wants to solve. Myself and Ibrahim Chatta came to his rescue, and I'm also aware Ibrahim also borrowed him 200k. Along the line, Shotayo said she was no longer interested. But a week after, I heard that the people Shotayo told earlier paid, which left me too confused and shocked. Unknowingly, we got to the boarding plane only to find out that the booking he claimed he had made was not reflecting. He didn't show up with the 2 other people's passports and visa either. Right there, we were left with 2 options, either to report to the authorities or escalate the matter via social media platforms. Myself and Ibrahim Chatta decided to let the matter rest and let God judge our actions according to intentions, while we ponder on the next line of action. But we later thought of other victims that were involved who may not be willing to take such steps because of the amount involved. So we set 2 options for ourselves, either to go as a group to complain to the authorities, which others obliged, or individually take it up, and once there is a need to report the authorities, we all make ourselves available. Most of our Shalagbade told me Shotayo had reported the matter to the police and she had collected a letter from higher authorities, which make me at peace that all is in control. Each time Shotayo reports me to people, I try as much as possible to call, but she declined to speak to me and never returned my calls. I don't hold this against her because I reason she might be angry. I was totally alarmed to see my name being dragged on social media for sins I never committed. But I'm really inquisitive about this. When the social media becomes the highest authority in Nigeria that is greater than the law enforcement agencies, when has it become a crime to make a referral for colleagues? When we know that the referral is the live wire of entertainers. My intention for bringing my colleagues on board was clear and noble, and as I never knew it would end this way. I'm very inquisitive about this. If everything went well, will I have the same accolades on social media like this? Nevertheless, necessary investigations are still going on and we will alert the public as things unfold.